So this video is going to deal with Minecraft Steve's creative scaling. I will repeat my rule from the last one, and that is Creative Steve does not get commands, as I view commands as cheats, in-game cheats. Also, Steve cannot naturally obtain command blocks to input commands. He cannot naturally do that. So commands like /kill_all or /TP, none of those things work. He doesn't have them. So not a lot really changes between base Steve and creative Steve. Like his IQ, battle IQ, reaction time, and lifting strength are all the same. The things that really change are his AP, which instead of being small country to country is now country to large country, as he can just kill the warden as he pleases, and the warden can't hurt him. And speaking of the warden not able to hurt him, Creative Steve's durability is large moon level. Now you might be going like, oh, he can't be hurt. He's indestructible. No mob in Minecraft can hurt him in creative mode. See, Steve can die in creative mode, as if he decides to break bedrock and fall into the void, he dies. And no matter how much armor, how much healing items you have, you will eventually just die. Or you'll crash your own game, one of the two. And it will always take the same amount of time to kill you. About 5 hits. About 5 or 6 hits to kill you. So you can argue that this void has Duraneg. Because no matter if you're in survival, creative, wearing full netherite armor with protection 4, with a totem of undying, it doesn't matter. You're dying regardless. And seeing as this void exists within Minecraft's planet and is the space between the overworld and the nether, you can argue that it is a planetary thing. So I would argue that it would be a tier below any kind of planetary. So that would be moon level, or large moon. And the only other benefit he gets from being in creative mode is his speed. Instead of being peak human level, he's now subsonic at maximum speed with flight, as he can move around at 43 meters per second or blocks per second in flight using the diagonal movement. So Steve is incredibly overrated. Arguments can be made. It's like, oh, but Steve breaks unbreakable blocks in creative mode, but you don't realize that his AP can't necessarily be that big if he can now break these unbreakable blocks but doesn't one-shot every enemy he comes across in creative mode. Like, if in survival mode he couldn't break bedrock, but now in creative mode he can one-shot bedrock into pieces, why wouldn't he be able to do the same to zombies, skeletons, chickens, sheep, cows, pigs, the wither, the ender dragon, the warden? Like, you can make a very bold claim that he is outerversal and extra dimensional and all this stuff, whenever really he's just overrated as fuck. His durability is large moon, so that means that characters that scale above Naruto can beat the piss out of creative Steve. If you disagree, that's fine by me, because it is your opinion. You're allowed to have your own opinion. That's no one should ever tell you that you can't have your own opinion about these subjects. So, with that being my scale for Creative Steve, I would argue that he is altogether around small continental, with everything combined into their own things as the weaknesses and strengths. Small continental. So, just make sure to take this with a grain of salt, as I am not the be all end all of Creative Steve scaling. I just want you to all remember that regardless of what way I scale this character, Popeye will always solo.